All right, guys, this is what we're watching tomorrow, which is Tuesday, April 29th. Let's start with the SPY. And it's pretty important to realize how far the SPY has come in about, 5-6 trading sessions. So it's definitely overbought at the moment, but see that tail there? If you weren't in chat today, we did have a pretty good sell-off and a really nice rebound at the end of the day. So I do like the way buyers are stepping in, but as you guys know, I don't trade the SPY, I trade individual stocks, and here's why. Because in my opinion, individual stocks offer the best chance, right? If you've got charts in front of your face on recent high flyers, recent movers, and gappers, there's almost always something to trade. So pause the video if you haven't read that. I'm going to go into, well, first let me talk about my favorite call of the day actually was mine. And the reason I love this so much is because it meets everything we teach in our free pullback webinar, right? How to buy pullbacks on an intraday basis. So this had this big rip, sold off, another rip, and when it came back down, I called it, I'm going to zoom in on that area, I called it mid-5, well, I called it 5's buy zone. I usually bid right in the middle of the zone. That's between the blue line, which is the 8 EMA, and the red line, which is the 20 EMA on 5-minute candles. Center of that is right around 12.23. The stop goes below the red line, so you're talking maybe 15 cents. And from 12.23, it ended up, well, let me pan out here. It went to an intraday high of 13.49 on again, 15 cents risk. There's the entry. And even if you sold it back through 13, you had great R on that trade. Let's go back to the daily because this one is going to be on watch tomorrow. Nice post by Frank in after hours too on that one. It had a nice after hours move, went to almost 14. All right, so here's what we're watching. CLBR, OMEX, I'm not oblivious to how ugly that candle from today is, right? But it's in that rare earth deep sea rare earth mining space, and that's a hot space right now. And this one did need to come in, let's face it. A few days ago it was 40 cents. It hit 209. Bought an intraday sell-off tomorrow. Might get interesting around the gap fill or maybe around $1, but I got to have this on watch because I'm a day trader and it's a hot space. Again, kind of ugly going into tomorrow, but you never know. WW, again, I talked about this one in the video coming into today. Topped out right around 50 cents, 49 cents. Still in play, in my opinion. No trades in it today, but definitely worth watching. TMC is also in that deep sea mining, rare earth space. Nothing stands out about the chart other than, hey, this thing's in play. Let's keep our eyes on it. PONY, probably one of the strongest stocks today. A small gap up, but then just absolutely ripped. We're going to keep our eyes on that one. USAR is a rare earth play. Kind of interesting in that had this huge move, pulled back, and then popped for a couple days, and now is going sideways, so up over this kind of 3-day high. Could be interesting. UUUU has also joined that space. Not really a chart setup here other than this gap up here, pulled back, and maybe going to curl up. Not in love with it. BYON in after hours at 480 right now. I believe they came out with earnings, went as high as 521. I did a personal trade, second mouse through 5, and sold it at 518 in after hours, which was pretty neat just having after hours charts up, right? But anyway, this one absolutely worth watching. Again, trading at 481 right now. So if we're still gapping in the morning, this is one to watch. TVGN came out with some headline that had billion-dollar numbers in it. Again, it felt like a rehash of an old headline, but still, it went to $1.48 in after hours. As I'm talking, he was trading at $1.30. If that one's still gapping, it'll go on the gap playlist tomorrow. Tesla, really strong. It sold off today and then had a nice rebound, kind of near a chart break, up over this area. So we want to keep our eyes on Tesla. Again, SXTC, weird chart, but you have this pop here, another pop here, another pop here, and then today a gap up, kind of a quiet inside day. And also, let me see where this topped out at 270. Over that, it's pretty interesting because you got 2 potential dominoes to fall just above that, and it's a recent high flyer. AGEN had it on bounce watch coming into today because of this flag. I actually did not get involved in this one, but I still like the chart. It's curling back up, most recent high 340. Let's keep our eyes on that one. A few more. BBAI Interesting to me because back here it hit 383 and then today hit 381. Over that level, you can kind of picture, and had nice volume on Friday, by the way, and over that level, you can kind of picture a little mini breakout. Bull, again, I'm not oblivious to how ugly this daily chart is, and I've said this before. What I'm looking for in BULL would be kind of a narrow range, pretty much all day, and then an afternoon high of day break. In that scenario, we could get, maybe some short covering. And sometimes this thing can move with fervor. I always try to work that word in once a year, and so I did. Interesting as a bounce play if it meets those parameters. Again, ugly daily, but could give a really nice snapback bounce if we get that scenario I talked about, right? AREB is hard to see this because everything's kind of compacted, but you see the volume here. Had a really nice run from here to here. So maybe zoom in and get a better look. The lows here was somewhere around 212, and then it ran to, 475-ish, something like that. The numbers aren't exact because I don't feel like figuring it out to the exact penny because I'd have to hover it, and I'm too lazy. But anyway, big 2-day run, and now kind of a 2-day pullback on much lower volume. This is I hate to say it, but it's probably my top watch tomorrow for a turn back up. Doesn't mean it has to happen, but you guys in chat, you know what we look for on an intraday basis. So make that one of your top watches tomorrow, and let's not miss a setup if we get one. And then NG, really nice pop and a couple days lower. I generally like these to get back down to the moving averages. It hasn't, but that doesn't mean it can't turn back up tomorrow. This was a really strong move, and this pullback's on much lower volume. That's it for me. I'll see you guys in pre-market. Hopefully some of you will join me and help me add some gappers to the list. Should be plenty to trade tomorrow. All right, I'm done babbling. We'll see you in chat.